Welcome back to part 2 of this mini-series. I'm your host, David.
And I'm Boris.
And as I said, we are back. Boris, we've got a wild game set up.
It's amazing. It is a narrative slog fest. Duel of the Titans.
Yeah. So what we've got then, we've got exactly the same forces as the previous game.
Pretty much. There's an extra unit of Iron Hands.
Yes.
And an extra unit each for both of us.
Yeah, so what we've got is we've got this massive motor pool where a behemoth, a demon behemoth has turned up and is causing havoc. Loads of other units are made in, and it's just a massive swirling melee of combat. But to counter the behemoth, the Imperial Fists have got a decent unit in.
They've finally summoned up their psychers, their reserves, and they have emptied the armories. So we have an Imperial Fists Esoterist psyker with some Psi Arcana.
Yep.
So he's brought all the anti-demon goodies he can muster with a Terminator bodyguard. So elite of the elite.
Yeah. So how does this going to work? Okay, so let me explain very quickly. There is loads of pockets of close combats happening around the Behemoth and the Terminators and the Esoterists, right? So in each turn, we will do a round of combat with these little pockets. No one technically dies and no one gets whatever, but we just count the results up. So if the Imperial Fists win one of those pockets of combat, they will get a dice. If the Demons win one of the combats, they will also get a dice. As I said, no one will die. It will just be literally one dice per win. If it's drawn, nobody gets a dice. Then the dice.
Yeah, then we count up our dice pools, so maybe 2 on one side, 2 on the other, or 1 or whatever. Those can be used in the central melee as rerolls.
Yes.
So there can be a reroll for anything needed, as we were discussing just before filming. Might save them for fear checks, maybe leadership checks, that sort of thing. Or that really key where you need that 1 extra to hit, or roll a 1 to wound on the 2 up to wound sort of roll. So it could be really, really useful. And sort of narratively, this is sort of the demons are all about the carnage and the ebb and the flow of the warp. So if they're losing, maybe it's bolstering or weakening the demons or bolstering the Imperial forces. They see their champion cut through people.
Yeah.
If the loyalists start losing, maybe it's striking fear into their hearts. Who knows? But
just spears the other units on around them.
Yeah.
You can't reroll a reroll with these special rerollable dice.
Yeah. It's not. It's basically just like if you reroll a hit, let's pretend it was Mastercraft. If you reroll a wound, let's pretend it was a shred, etc., etc. But you can't reroll a reroll.
The other thing as well is because the Imperial Fist won in the last game, Boris will get 1 additional dice automatically at the start of each game turn. So that's pretty cool. I was going to say something else. Just give me a second.
It's fine.
The Imperial Fists are also getting the first turn. So the Behemoth and the Terminators with Esoterists do start some number of inches away. So there will be a shooting phase and then a charge phase. So that will be really interesting. So as winning from the previous game, you get the first turn as well.
Yeah, we could probably use it. We've got some guns to put into good effect, but we do have a lot of wounds to chew through.
Yeah, 10 wounds on that Mutalith model, the big beastie model there. And the game will last until either the unit or the Behemoth falls, and then that's the end of the game.
Yeah. And like we say, none of the other combats can win and join in. They're purely dressing to also calculate and add bonuses. Yeah. That's it.
So it's super made up, but it's super fluffy, and it's a little bit of fun as well. And we have play tested it, and it does work, so that's a good sign. But I just think we've got this great opportunity to just tell this amazing story and use all the models we've got available to us. And if I'm honest, I'm looking at it right now, it looks pretty cool.
It looks amazing. It's so much fun.
Yeah, so we're really excited to do that. We will go into the list to see what the Behemoth and the Esoterists and the Terminators have got, and then we'll go straight into the first turn. Bolstering the ranks of the Demons of the Ruin Storm is a Behemoth. His 3 emanations are Corrosive Vomit, crushing claws, and flensing talons.
The Imperial Fist Force sent to dispatch the Demon is a 5-man Terminator squad. It is equipped with 4 combi plasmas, 2 chain fists, 1 Elastus pattern assault cannon, and Cataphractii Terminator armor. The squad is led by an Imperial Fist's Esoterist. He has been upgraded to have Cataphractii Terminator armor, 2 levels of Psychic Mastery, and draws his powers from the Sanctic Demonology discipline. He's also been upgraded to have a Visual Pattern Storm Shield and a Force Sword. Finally, he's been equipped with the Psi Arcana Icon of the Blazing Sun. Shattered Legions, turn 1, and we have the start of the battle. All the other units are locked in combat, and our Esoterist with his Terminator bodyguard have deep struck in front of the Behemoth, ready to bring him down. Psychic phase, we have a single Psyker to try and work his magic. Warp charge points, we have 4, so that is 6 as he's a level 2 Psyker, and the demons have 4 points to try and deny. We're going to try and cast Force as a universal power to give his Force Sword instant death. 2 dice, passed on a 1, and that's not stoppable. The second power we're going to try and cast is Hammer Hand. We're going to throw 3 dice at this one, double 5, so we do pass that one as well. That is also a blessing, so it's not interruptible. After Psychic, the Imperial Fists are going to light up the Behemoth with their shooting. So we have 4 combi plasmas. They're going to rapid fire. We'll do 6 shots from 3 of them before getting to the sergeant. So hitting on 3s. 1 fails to hit and 1 gets hot. We'll do a 2-up armor save. That is passed. And then the sergeant will fire his 2 shots. 1 miss, 1 hit. So 5 hits. It is strength 7, normally toughness 7, but it is toughness 8 due to the Tides of Madness in the first 2 turns of the game. So 5s to wound. Still 2 wounds. That's not too bad.
Pretty good. All right, we'll go on to our 5-up demon save. Come on. Okay, no. So 2 wounds suffered to the Behemoth.
Last up, we have the Elastus Pattern Assault Cannon. See if it can peel off an extra wound. 4 shots hitting on 3s. That's all hits. It is, however, wounding on 6s. But 6s will rend? No, that is nothing. Unfortunate, but not unexpected. Into combat for the Shattered Legion, the Esoterist and his Terminator bodyguard did deep strike earlier at the start of the game to come fell the Behemoth. So as per the rules, they can't charge, they did shoot. So we're now on to the ongoing combats around the rest of the board.
Combat between the Demonic Beast and the Tactical Squad there with the Centurion in. The Beast will attack at initiative 4, and there are 12 attacks requiring 4s to hit. Not too bad. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that was pretty terrible. They are strength 5. But +1 because of Tides of Madness. They require 2s to wound. No bonuses here. That's pretty good. 3 wounds.
All right, and we'll take 3 armor saves of 3 up. All passed. Fantastic news. Attacking back at initiative 4 as well are 9 tactical marines. 9 attacks hitting on 4s. That is not too bad. That is 6 hits, but it is now, however, wounding on 6s with the toughness 5 going up to 6. So let's see what we can do. That is a single wound. That's not too bad. We'll take that.
Rightio. We are 3-up armor thanks to their brass collar. Pass. This is good.
Lovely. No wounds either side. We then, however, go on to initiative 1. We have the Tactical Squad Sergeant with his Power Fist. 2 attacks. Both hit. That's fantastic. Strength 8, toughness 6 are still winning on 2s. Double 1. Yeah. That is classic. And then we have the Centurion. 4 attacks. 2 miss with a Master Crafting. Still a miss, however, but 2s to wound. There we go. A little bit better. 2 wounds.
All right. Demon save. 5 up. Come on. Oh, goddamn. All right. So the Imperial Fist win that combat, and they will get a dice added to their pool. Combat between the Demonic Cavalry and the Iron Hands Immortals. There are 15 attacks from the Cavalry there, requiring 4s to hit. Oh, geez. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. Not amazing. They do have rending, and they are strength 5, so 3s with rending. Oh, look at that. Okay, so 3 wounds and 2 rends. So let's have the wounds first. 3 wounds.
3-up armor saves. Oh, that is 2 fail, and then we have Feel No Pain. Both passed, wowzers.
Wow.
And then 2 Rens, 5 up invulnerable save. Both passed. Wowzers. Okay, we have 11 attacks back from the Immortals, hitting on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. That's really not great. And then wounding on 5s with their toughness 5. 2 wounds.
All right, 3 up armor saves thanks to their brass collars. Oh, 1 wound. Wow. Another wound for another dice pool for the Imperial Fist. Moving on to combat between the lesser demons with wings and the crew from the rapiers. Their fear check.
Okay. Oh, they fail. So they are scared of the demons.
This is good. So we have 12 attacks then, requiring 3s to hit. That is much better. Yeah, we'll take that. We only dropped 3, which is really good. No bonuses on this unit, so we are strength 5, 3s to wound. That is pretty good. So 2, 4, 6, 7 wounds.
7 wounds, 3 up armor saves. Oh, we only dropped 1. That's pretty good, but that is 1. We only have 4 attacks back. Let's see what we can do. Hitting on 4s, 2 hits, and then wounding on 5s. Double 6. This is 2 wounds, but they do have their 3 up armor.
Holy hell. 4 up armor for these ones. Let's have a look. That's a turn up for the books. 1 dice for the demons.
Next up, we have the infamous Iron Hands Mortificator and his 2 Contemptors facing down the Brutes and the Demon Chosen. So starting at initiative 5 is the Mortificator with his Corpusant Stave, hitting on 4s.
Wow.
That is 3 hits, and wounding on 6s with Strength 5 versus Toughness 7 against the Demon Brutes. That is no wounds, not unexpected. We then, however, have 6 attacks from the Contemptors, hitting on 3s. That's 4 hits, that's really good. And then we are wounding on 2s, even though they're toughness 7, with Shred, thanks to the Keeper of the Dead rule. That is 4 wounds that go through.
All right, so 4 wounds. We've got our demon save of 5 up. Wow. Oh, that's not too bad. We only take 2 wounds there from the Contemptors. Next to strike at initiative 1 are the Brutes and the Chosen. They all have Sundering Fangs, which means they strike at initiative 1 and can reroll thanks to Sunder, their penetration. So we'll do the 3 attacks from the Brutes first. They require 4s to hit. Oh, that is fantastic. They all fail. And then we go over to the Chosen, and he's weapon skill 5, so requires a 3. Thankfully, he is strength 10, so requires a 3 to glance or a 4 to pen with a reroll. That is a penetrate. 6 up save.
All right, 6 up in combat, Atomantic, no. Ooh. And then we have the Keeper of the Dead rule from the Mortificator. So on a 5 up, we can ignore this penetrating hit. That is a 6.
How rude.
And there we go. Finally, at initiative 1, the Mortificator does have a servo arm, so he'll swing in with that, hitting on a 3. No hit. So that combat is over. I believe it is 2-0. So 1 more dice for the Imperial Fists.
Moving on to the next combat, we've got the Lesser Demons versus the Tack Squad. Hopefully these Lesser Demons will do a better job. They do have Shred and Rending, so fingers crossed. The Demons require a 4 to hit. That's not too bad. Let's have a look. I think I knocked that, but it was on a 5. And 1 more there. Demons are strength 5, so 3s with Shred and Rending. Thankfully, we needed that. So we only get 1 rend, 2 rend, and 2, 4, 6 wounds.
All right, so the 2 Wrens kill 2 Marines. 6 wounds on the Sergeant is next up front. So look out, sir, all of these. All but 1. So this is his 3 up armor save, which is passed, and then 5 more 3 up armor saves, 4 go down. So that is 4 Marines die. 6 including the Wrens. Striking back before the Marines die, we have 9 attacks from the Tactical Marines, hitting on 4s. Drop 4, that's not too bad, and then we are wounding on 5s. Not a sausage, unfortunate. Bringing in at the end, initiative 1, we have the Sergeant, 2 attacks, 1 hit, 2s to wound, that is a wound.
Demon save 5 up. But it's okay, though. The Demons have done enough, and they will gain a reroll. Nice.
End of Shattered Legion turn 1. We won a decent amount of those combats, even the ones we weren't expecting to. So that was really good news. We've saved up 4 dice for our combat in the middle, which should be really useful going ahead. However, we almost certainly are going to take a charge from that Behemoth. So we'll see what we can do.
Demons of the Ruinstorm turn 1. The Behemoth hasn't moved too far because it wants to get its corrosive vomit with some decent numbers underneath it, and we managed to get 4. So we go straight onto the shooting phase. It's strength as per user, and we are strength 9. So we need 4 dice, 2s to wound, shred and rending, not required, and now we need some saves.
All right, Sergeant is up front, so we'll look out, sir. 3 of them, so the Sergeant has to take 1 or 2 up. Classic.
Wow.
Sergeant's dead, and then 3 Terminators pass. So the Sergeant does die.
Pretty good. In the assault phase, the Behemoth declares its charge against the Terminators. Unfortunately, they don't get to Overwatch because they're Califracti, and we'll see what our charge distance is. Ooh, thankfully, it's a 5, and we are 4 inches away. The Behemoth's made into contact. He gets Hammer of Wrath at strength 9, 2s to wound. That's a wound.
All right, 2 up armor save. We're good.
Easy. The results at the end of that combat was a draw, with the exception of the Brutes and the Contemptor. That was a win for the Iron Hands. And then on the top right hand of the screen there, the Imperial Fist versus the Lesser Demons. The Demons got the better of the Fists and managed a win. So 1 dice to each of the players' pools.
First, the Behemoth as a demon causes fear, so we need to take a fear check. Passed on an 8.
Going into combat with the Behemoth, the Esoterist, and the Terminators. The Behemoth is achieved 2, so we start with the Imperial Fists.
So the Esoterist steps up. He has a Force Sword. He also is equipped with a piece of Psi Arcana, the icon of the Blazing Sun, the Aquila on his shield there, which when in combat with a model with this Psi Arcana, any demons are reduced to weapon skill 1. So that's going to help us out and keep us in the fight. So the Behemoth is reduced to weapon skill 1 whilst the Esoterist is alive. So stepping up initiative 5, we only have a Force Sword, but we have cast Hammer Hand, so we are +2 strength. First we need to roll to hit. 3s to hit as it's weapon skill 4 on the Behemoth, so 2 hits. We are then strength 6 against toughness 8, so 6s to wound. Nothing. Unfortunate. We did have force on there, so instant death. That's the Esoterist. We then on to initiative 2, the Behemoth attacks.
The Behemoth strikes with his mighty 6 attacks for charging. He's down to weapon skill 1, so requires 5s to hit. Do you know what? That is pretty amazing. I only dropped 1. Wow, those dice. And then we are strength 9, so 2s to wound. We do have shred. Do we have shred? Does have shred, so it gets to reroll that. It doesn't matter anyway. All right, so there's 4 strength 9 wounds.
Okay, 4 up invulnerable saves. Let's see what we can do. Okay, 2 fail. I think what we're going to do is spend 2 of our reroll dice pool to reroll these invulnerable saves. So 4 ups again. Okay, 1 goes through. So 1 Terminator does die. That's not too bad. Last to strike at initiative 1, we have the Chain Fists and Power Fists from the Terminator squad. The Behemoth is taken down to weapon skill 1, so we are 3s to hit. It's not too bad. 4 hits out of 6, and then we need 4s to wound as it's toughness 8 at the moment due to the Tides of Madness. Okay, 3 wounds. I'll take that quite happily.
All right, 3 wounds. He has a 5+ demon save. Here we go. Oh, jeez. What do? Do you spend some points or not? I'll spend 2. Just try and keep him in the game. So 2 5-ups. Come on. We get 1 back. That's not too bad. Not a bad result there for the Demons in this turn. They're not doing particularly well in combat with the other units, but that Behemoth is really doing the business despite the afflictions cast upon it by the Esoterist. We'll now go into Imperial Fist turn 2.
Shattered Legions turn 2, starting with the Psychic phase. The Esoterist cast Hammer Hand on himself and tried casting Banishment on the Behemoth, but failed. Straight on to the close combat phase, and it was a lot more of a dramatic combat phase in the ongoing combats. The Shattered Legions won 2 combats, the Centurion fighting the beasts and the Contemptors fighting the brutes came through. However, it was a lot more predictable. The lesser demons and the cavalry ripped to pieces the rapier, the other tactical squad, and the iron hands, awarding the demons 3 more reroll dice and the Imperial fists 2 more. In the mighty duel in the center of the board, we have the Esoterror stepping up first. 3 attacks hitting on 3s. That's all hit. That's pretty good. However, we're wounding on 6, even with our +2 strength. Okay, we land 1 wound for 3 cuts through the armor.
All right, so we go straight into the demon save of 5 up. Oh, which we fail, so wound on the Behemoth.
Okay, and then going down to initiative 2, the Behemoth strikes back at the Terminators.
Mighty 5 attacks here. We require... Are we at weapon skill 1 still? God damn it. 4 5s to hit. That is 1 hit, unlucky, and 2s to wound. Oh, that is a wound.
Okay, 4 up armor invulnerable save, passed.
Ooh.
There we go. Striking initiative 1, we have 3 power fists and chain fists, so 6 attacks from the Terminators. This is where we need to do some damage. 3s to hit, 4 hits, and then 4s to wound. That is 2 wounds. That's not too bad. So 2 invulnerable saves.
All right, 2 demon saves. Oh, I'm going to burn a couple of the old rerolls. Takes us down to 2. Oh, not too bad, but we still suffer 1.
End of turn 2 for the Shattered Legions. A broader field, it's going not as well. We're losing more combats than winning, but in the centre of the board, we're sticking fast and managing to go toe-to-toe with that mighty Behemoth.
Turn 2 combat for the Demons was pretty successful. Points scored against the Immortals, the Rapier crew, and the Tack Squad over there by the Sakaran Venator. The Imperial Fists won combats with the Dreadnoughts against the Brutes and the combat with the Centurion. So 2 points added to their pool. Moving into combat with the Behemoth, the Esoterror will strike first.
So Esoterror steps up, 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2 hits, and even with Hammerhand, we are wounding on 6s. No wounds, unsurprisingly.
All right, the Behemoth comes in with 5 attacks. Web skill 1, so we need 5s to hit. 2 hits, we'll take that. And 2s to wound. Yeah, that's good.
All right, 4 up invulnerable saves. 1 failed. We're going to spend a reroll. And reroll. No, still a failure. So a Terminator dies before he's able to strike. Striking back initiative 1, we now only have 2 Terminators left. Power Fist and a Chain Fist, 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s. That's really not great. What we're going to do is we're actually going to spend 2 points, go down to 4, and reroll both these to hits. Okay, so all 4 hit. We are, however, still wounding on 4s. Oh my gosh! We're gonna go burn all the way through. We're gonna go down another 2 and reroll 2 of these. Okay, 1 more wound. So 2 wounds on the Behemoth.
All right, Demon save 5 up. Oh, we get 1. Not too bad. He is down to 4 wounds. End of turn 2 there for the Demons. Not bad. We're starting to win a few more combats, but the Tides of Madness will recede very soon and drop us down to our base stats. But that Behemoth is bleeding, so we'll see if he can hold out.
Shattered Legions turn 3, and we're going to try and count on this Tides of Madness receding and dropping the strength and toughness of the Demons. The Esoterror has gone on the offensive and has cast Force on his Force Sword, giving it the instant death rule, and Banishment, the Primaris power of Demonology Sanctic, which drops the invulnerable save of a single demon, obviously the Behemoth, by 1. So it is now on a 6-up invulnerable save, which should really help us out. Shattered Legion turn 3 combat. Really surprising. The Loyalists managed to dig deep and win every single combat with the surprise twist with the Rapier crew managing to survive against the lesser demons and actually bringing one down. With that, our supply of rerolls has gone back up to a mighty 7 from 2, so that's really fantastic news. Turn 3 of the mighty duel with the Behemoth, we start again with the Esoterror. 3 attacks hitting on 3s. all hit. He is only strength 4. Hammer hand has worn off, but he does now have force on his sword, which is instant death. However, 6 is to wound. That is a single wound. That is fantastic news. So we have invulnerable save. Thanks to banishment, it is now also only a 6 up. Sorry.
Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, I am gonna burn one. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. So we go down to 4. Come on, no, that is not good. However, because it is instant death, instead of killing the behemoth outright, you get D3 wounds.
Yeah, he is unstoppable as a rule. So don't kill him, but the force sword does a good amount of damage. So D3, 1. So exactly the same in the end. But it does a wound to the Behemoth before he gets a strike back, which is fantastic.
All right, the behemoth will strike back with his 5 attacks and hitting on 5s. Oh, shall I burn 3? Do you know what? I'm going to burn 3. Go. Let's have a look. But now we need a 2 to wound. Yeah, that'll do.
2 wounds, so those go through the 2 up armor save onto the 4 up. 1 pass, 1 fail. We're going to burn a point and try and re-roll.
Oh!
Yeah, 2 6s. So that is all the Terminators alive. Only 2 left, however, so 4 attacks back. That is 3 hits, and it is toughness 7 now, down from 8. So we are wounding on 3s finally. That is 2 wounds. We're going to keep our dice, so we're going to re-roll. So 2 invulnerable saves.
Hot diggity, I'm on 6s, right?
Yep.
I'm going to have to burn one of these, I reckon. Double 6, though. No, we will burn 1. Oh, jeez. 6, here we go. Oh, no. So I think if I have a little tot up, that takes me down to 1 wound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The behemoth is on 1 wound, and we've burnt all of our dice pool.
End of turn 3 for the Shattered Legion, and we are piling on. We have got a single wound to take off that Behemoth, but as we all know, the demons can be tricky, and it could swing against us any moment. We're going to hope we can continue winning the combats in the surrounding area and piling on the pressure.
Turn 3 assault phase for the demons. The demons won 2 of the combats. On the top right of the screen, the lesser demons versus the tactical marines, and then on the bottom right, the cavalry were successful against the Iron Hands. If we look at the Imperial Fist, they won 2 rounds of combat, which was the brutes versus the contemptor, and the centurion and his tax squad versus the beasts. The rapier crew are doing exceptionally well and managed a draw against the winged demons. Moving into the main combat, the behemoth with 1 wound remaining, but managed to pick up 2 rerolls on the dice in that combat. So anything can happen, but we'll start with Imperial Fists. All
right, here we go. The Esoterist is going to strike out first, see if he can do any damage with his force sword. 3s to hit. That's 3 hits, however, we need 6s to wound. Not a single one. Not unsurprising. Now we have to survive the retaliatory strikes from the Behemoth.
All right, 5 attacks, hitting on 5s. That was pretty good. I'm not going to re-roll them. We might need them for the saves. And now 2s to wound. That's good.
There we go. So 2 at a time, as we've got the Centurion left. So 4 up invulnerable saves. Both passed, and the last one fails. We're going to spend a point to re-roll that. Passed.
Jeez.
Buoyed by their success, we're going to go in for the kill and see if we can drag down this Behemoth and end the incursion into the phalanx. We have 4 attacks from these Terminators, 3s to hit, thanks to the icon of the blazing sun. And we're going to spend another point to re-roll and see if we can get the last hit. Yep, that is all hit. Toughness 7 during this part of the Tides of Madness. So 3s to wound. Those are 4 good wounding hits.
Holy balls. All right, this could spell the end for the Behemoth. We've got 2 rerolls and we require 6s. This is not good. Well, whichever way you slice it, even with those 2 rerolls, we don't even manage a 6. That Behemoth has been slain and the Imperial Fists are victorious. Oh, tough times. Thought the Behemoth was going to do the business, but clearly was not good enough.
It very nearly did.
Yeah.
But a couple of dice rolls, and as we were saying, I think the Esoterist was exactly the man for the job.
Sure.
He was built exactly to bring that Behemoth down.
Yeah, I mean, it was good fun. I think scenario as a whole, it was just a massive bit of fun. So please don't take it too seriously. We, of course, did not do the Perils of the Warp, the Demon Perils of the Warp table at the end after losing combat with a it's not a Mutilith, it's a Behemoth. It's a Mutilith model, and the others. But it was just a bit of fun, and, you know.
Yeah, and neither side really had the consequences of falling back and possibly breaking and all that stuff. It was basically the consequences of winning around the edge or losing was just giving up the reroll dice.
Yeah.
And then the center was basically, it was going to go on until one side was dead. So we didn't want any sort of disappearing from perils or running and being run down. It had to be a fight to the death.
Fight to the death, indeed. Yeah. And, you know, that shield or that icon of the sun or whatever it was that your guy had, that was pretty powerful.
I think that's the only reason they stayed alive, because it caused Mutilith, I'm saying the Behemoth to miss maybe half to 2/3 of the attacks coming in, because they were brutal. AP2 strength 10 or 9, whichever. 9 or 8, you know, enough to instant kill. If it got down to the Esoterrorist, it would have instantly killed him, you know, with his 2 wounds.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Scary stuff. So luckily, I seem to have just a slight advantage, I reckon, with the Contemptors alone, with a slight advantage and some good luck, actually. A slight advantage with the reroll dice, and able to use them where needed. And then his psychic powers and his Psi Arcana relic were just perfect for dealing out wounds to and negating your bonuses and giving themselves as good a chance as possible. Even then, it came down to having to have a rerollable 4-up invulnerable save on the Cataphracti, to be able to survive in combat with that thing. And I think we added it up, and I think the Terminators and the Esoterrorist were a few more points.
Yeah, about 80 points more, I think.
Yeah, so that Behemoth clearly punches well above his weight, I think.
One thing, playing this scenario in particular, and the couple of previous games that Boris and I have played with the Demons, is that I think the Demons struggle for a little bit of anti-tank, particularly with those Contemptors. They cause some real problems with the Brutes. Those Brutes just aren't quite man enough to, particularly with Initiative 1, with the strength, double strength and the I think Sunder.
It's the losing all your attacks, so you only get to make 1 attack with your anti-tank attack, as it were.
Yeah.
And anything that with that few dice is just you're relying on the mercy of the dice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd agree. Demons somewhat can be.
Yeah, particularly in smaller games. I think if we look at much bigger games, when you've got the massive demons, you know, and the gargantuan creatures, I think then it might be a little bit easier. But I know you can get shred and rending a lot of things, but that is the best combination to take, and it's a bit too easy to just take shred and rending on all of the units. But when you don't, they don't do that well, I don't think. They've just got numbers on their side. Yeah,
I'd say so. They can take a lot of damage, because the entire army, I think, is 2 wounds a model or more.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe the auxiliaries and stuff. And every single model has at least 2 attacks. So if you put shred and rending on top of that, it's just horrific.
It's too good, eh?
It's super good. I finally learned how to deal with it. Is take Iron Hand Contemptors.
That's the one. Don't worry though, much bigger games featuring the Demons will come, and the Demons are about 4K now, and there's a lot of variation in the list. We've got a couple more units on the way, which Dan is furiously painting up, so I'm looking forward to getting those back, and then we'll do some much bigger games in the future. But I do think, as Boris and I have explored over the last sort of couple of weeks with these, well, sort of month with this army, that, you know, the warp drifts and the lack of AT in a smaller list can cause you some serious problems if you come up against Contemptors and stuff like that.
I'd say so. Possibly offset by the fact that in ZM particularly, you can be basically in combat turn 1 if you have the board to your side, and the fact that you can counter deploy. So they're really interesting. I think we've been playing this a fair bit the past month or so, and it's really interesting with Demons, because they kind of ignore a lot of the restrictions that Zone Mortalis puts on armies, but at the same time really suffer, like you say, from not being able to place rift markers all over the place, and anti-tank and that sort of thing.
It's really interesting. However, in isolation, I think the 2 games worked together really well, and this one was so much fun. We didn't film every combat. I know you guys probably wanted it with all dice rolls, but it was just the same thing over and over again. We just thought it was going to be a bit boring, so we did that roundup at the end and contributed to the dice pool. But Boris, I thoroughly enjoyed that, so thank you so much for a great game.
Thank you. That was excellent fun. We have to presume Samus is around somewhere, running around the phalanx.
It was very cool. All right, so if you want to follow the channel on Instagram, you should all know by now it's at the 30k channel. And Boris,
Pack_paints.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. Boris, thank you for the game.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the next battle report.